Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today we are back with another video for our GBay100 channel where we are... This is some pretty serious stuff that we're going to be talking about today. I posted a tier list of vegetables to Twitter yesterday, and there was a little bit of debate going on about how accurate this tier list was. So I'm going to go ahead and go through each one of these veggies and give you guys like an example of why I've ranked each one how I have. Okay, so this is our vegetable tier list in, the current meta at least. This is what I got going on. So let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Starting off, the S tier. There's only a few things that I would consider S tier vegetables. Firstly, bean sprouts. I don't know if bean sprouts are even technically classified as a vegetable, but if they are obviously God tier. Like, bean sprouts are so delicious. They're so delicious in anything that you put them in. They're delicious just on their own. Fucking bean sprouts are amazing, period. Number 2, carrots. Carrots are totally underrated, all right? Carrots are actually S tier. Carrots, I mean, if you don't count bean sprouts, then carrots are probably the #1 best vegetable that there is. You can use them in stews. You can use them in, boeuf bourguignon, however you pronounce it. You can use them in a bunch of different ways, but even just raw, here's a tip for your carrot game, okay? Get carrots that you peel them yourself and cut them up. Those carrots, eat them on their own, don't even need ranch. They're fucking delicious, and they're so much better than those mushy garbage baby carrots you can buy in the grocery store. Carrots are God tier if you use them correctly, either cooking them or just eating them raw. I mean, they're fucking amazing. Cauliflower. Now, cauliflower is one that a lot of people forget, another completely underrated vegetable. It is insane, though, dude. Cauliflower is so fucking tasty, it could be a meat. It's insanely good. You put some ketchup on it, put some ranch on it. You can put whatever the fuck you want on it. Ketchup and ranch are the two best things you can totally put on cauliflower, though. But again, a vegetable that is so good, you can just eat it on its own, and it's tasty as fuck. Like, of course, that's God tier. And then lastly, beets. I don't think I need to explain beets to you guys. Beets are like nature's sweet tarts, right? Beets are, they're beets. They're amazing. The A tier is where things get a little bit tricky, okay? Firstly, I have lettuce up here at #1 in the A tier. Now, the reason I have lettuce up here is because lettuce is just carried by iceberg lettuce. Romaine lettuce and all those other fucking leafy greens, those are pretty garbage, and they kind of need the help of like ranch and other vegetables mixed into a salad to make them good. But iceberg lettuce is so delicious on its own that it can carry lettuce all the way up to the A tier. If we get a little bit, we could do a tier list of the different lettuces, and fucking iceberg would be S tier and everything else would be C or below. But because iceberg is a lettuce, you gotta have it up in A tier. Now, zucchini, I don't know that much about zucchini, I'll be honest. I love zucchini, like the zucchini boat things where you slice a zucchini and you put a bunch of shit in it. And also ratatouille. Zucchini's great. Zucchini's in ratatouille, right? Like, zucchini is pretty damn good, and it's also a very versatile vegetable, so you gotta have it up here. Onion, I'm hating myself for how low I've ranked onion. Onion is insanely good. Onions are, the only reason onions aren't S tier is because you can't eat them on your own, right? You can't eat them on their own. You have to put them into fajitas. You have to put them on tacos. You have to put them into stews. You have to put them into stuff to make them good. But when you do, they're so fucking delicious, dude. They're insanely good. You gotta have onions up here. And mushrooms are basically the same thing. Mushrooms are insanely good when put into stuff, but you have to have them complementing other things. You can't really eat mushrooms raw, right? Mushrooms raw, at least. You can eat them on their own if you just fry them in a little bit of olive oil with some garlic or something. But, mushrooms, still A tier, 100%. Now, tomato, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Tomatoes are vegetables, all right? Fruits are sweet. Fruits are bananas. Fruits are oranges. Fruits are apples. They're sugary and delicious and sweet. That's what makes a fruit. It's not about, does it grow in the ground or grow on a tree? Is it sweet or not? Okay, the sweet shit, that's fruits. The not sweet stuff is vegetables. Tomatoes are vegetables, and tomatoes, similarly to mushrooms and onions, I should actually be putting tomatoes up here. Because tomatoes, you can't eat them on their own and they're good, but you can have bad tomatoes, right? Tomatoes aren't necessarily the best thing ever, so you have to consider that. Tomatoes have a worse bad version than some of these other vegetables, right? Like mushrooms, you can't have mushrooms that are bad. Like, even if you have fucking 10-day-old fucking soggy mushrooms, they can still be delicious if you cook them right. Moving on to the B tier, basil. I gotta include basil. I know basil is an herb. I don't know if herbs are technically categorized as vegetables, but basil is insanely good on its own. You can just have a bunch of leafy basil on like a mozzarella and tomato. Just tomato, mozzarella, basil, and balsamic spread shit. Put that on 2 toasted pieces of bread, and it's the tastiest sandwich you've ever had, dude. Basil is so good on its own that I have to classify it as a vegetable, and it goes into the B tier here. Bell peppers also, I believe bell peppers are technically vegetables, right? And bell peppers are, again, they're similar to onion, tomatoes, and mushrooms, where they're so good in other things. I don't really think bell peppers are too flavorful on their own. I know some people like to just cut them up and eat them on their own, but I don't think they're quite flavorful enough to be eaten alone, right? That's what they need, the spices of the onions and the mushrooms in a quesadilla or something to make them really stand out, but they are very, very good. Broccoli, I got broccoli kind of low, and there are some broccoli lovers out there that I'm sure are going to be very upset at this tier list, but broccoli is like a worse version of cauliflower, dude. It can be good, but again, it's something that needs a lot of seasoning. It's something that needs it needs a lot of help, and it's just a worse version of cauliflower in my opinion. I'm sorry. If I want to eat something raw with ranch, I can go with carrots, right? I don't need broccoli, and broccoli's not very versatile. You can't put broccoli in everything the way you can put some of these other veggies and stuff. And then spinach. Spinach gets a bad rap, dude. Spinach is fucking insanely good, particularly if you put it in a salad. You want the best recipe you're ever going to have in your life? Listen to this, all right? Take the classic salad mix of iceberg lettuce, red cabbage, and shredded carrots, add it to some spinach, put some pepperonis on it, put some mozzarella cheese, and then put like a bunch of ranch dressing on it. That is going to be the best salad you've ever eaten, dude. It's fucking insane how good spinach is when it's utilized properly, but it is also pretty disgusting if you utilize it improperly, even if you cook it in stuff like that spinach mushroom egg quesadilla recipe that's kind of popular. I know that's pretty meta right now, but that's also pretty disgusting, so fuck that. In the C category here, I have cabbages, peas, cucumbers, kale. We're starting to get into the category of shit that's like, not only is it disgusting on its own, but you can't even utilize it in anything. Like, I know there's a lot of people that love kale, but they love it because they think they're going to live forever by eating it. They don't love it because it tastes good. All of this shit tastes better than kale. Same deal with cucumbers. Maybe I should be putting cucumbers higher if I'm putting zucchini so high, but I don't know. I don't know. You can argue with me in the comments on that one. Peas are nothing. Peas are gross. Peas are dumb. They're nothing at all. And then cabbage. Dude, if you eat a cabbage in RuneScape, then the first thing that the game tells you is yuck, right? Cabbage is not that good. And finally, in the D tier here, we have asparagus, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, and green beans. I don't know why people love green beans. Green beans are fucking dumb. Okay, green beans are soggy, they're wet, they're unflavorful, and you can't really do much shit with them, too. Like, they're this really weird texture of two bad textures, right? The pod that the green beans are in is gross and weird and stringy and awful, and the green beans themselves are not particularly good or flavorful. Green beans are garbage tier, dude. There's only a few things you can put in a tier below them. Same deal with Brussels sprouts. Maybe Brussels sprouts some people love. I've never been a big fan of them. I gotta put them down here as well. Eggplant. If you have eggplant in ratatouille or something, then it can be good, or kulfi bialdi, but if you're just having eggplant on its own, or you know, if it's not getting carried by zucchini and cucumber, then it's just bad. It's just bad, okay? And then asparagus. I don't get what people love about asparagus, but I put it at the top of D tier here, so there's your little consolation prize, asparagus lovers. And then the only thing that's left is the trash tier, turnips. The only thing I had in the trash tier was turnips in this original list, because turnips, you know, what was the John Panette joke about it? John Panette did a bit about turnips where he said, turnips, like, you gotta boil them for 14 hours. Like, they're incredibly difficult to eat. If it's that hard to cook it, then it doesn't want to be food, right? Turnips, they're gross, they're dumb. Fuck them. And then celery. Celery is so bad I forgot it existed, right? Celery's like 99% water. Water's not a vegetable. If you're telling me that I can't put tomato on this list because tomatoes are a fruit, then no way you can fucking count celery as a vegetable. Celery's mostly water. Celery's dumb, too. It's so gross because it doesn't even taste like anything except bad, right? It has a slightly bad taste. And other than that, it's just water, dude. It gets carried by fucking ranch and whatever you put on it. So that's my veggie tier list. Feel free to argue in the comments down below, but you're wrong if you do.